Welcome, everyone. We are just waiting for a couple more minutes for others to join in. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Curtain Raiser event leading to the Toto Short Film Awards 2022. Toto Funds the Arts was established as a trust in Bangalore in 2004. It was set up in memory of Angiras Toto Vellani, who passed away in a tragic accident on May 24, 2004. TFA gives young Indian artists a platform to share their work through readings, film screenings, talks, and other arts-related events. TFA also hosts annual awards in the fields of music, creative writing in English and Kannada, photography, and short film. Rather than achievement, these national level awards are more in the nature of recognizing potential for artistic growth in these fields. TFA introduced 2 awards in the short film category in January 2013, making this the 10th edition of the Toto Short Film Awards. These awards are supported by O2 Financials, a Bangalore-based wealth management company. We received 117 applications for the 2022 awards, of which 4 have been shortlisted. They are Shubham Ghatge from Baramathi, Maharashtra for the film Daura, Aakash Chhabra from Panipat, Haryana for Mintgumri, Akshay Ingle from Akola, Maharashtra for Mahalle School, Family Going Live, and Megha J Shetty from Udupi, Karnataka for Enso. These films respectively portray, in poignant and unique ways, resilience in the face of socio-political absurdities, personal grief, the inevitable challenges of aging, and the unexpected and sudden changes in the conditions of living. How did the filmmakers approach such difficult subjects? What inspired them to make films? How do they envision their future film practice? To help us understand this and more, this evening we have award-winning filmmaker Priya Naresh talking to 2 of our shortlisted filmmakers, Aakash Chhabra and Akshay Ingle. This event has been supported by Sucheta Rashmi, Madhavi, and Deepthi in memory of their late father, Shantinath Desai, a pioneering modernist of Kannada literature. And now to introduce our moderator for the evening, Priya Naresh is a filmmaker based in New Delhi and Ahmedabad. Her interest lies in exploring memory and language. She has made 2 short fiction films that have been screened nationally and internationally and won awards. Her film Baramathi was shortlisted for the TFA Awards in 2018, and she's currently working on an Indo-Pak documentary based in Balochistan and Assam. Over to you, Priya.
Hi. Hi, Akshay. Hi, Aakash.
Hello.
Good
Hi.
evening.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, basically, congratulations on making such amazing films. And let's begin this conversation by talking about your journey as to how you got into filmmaking and all of that. Akshay, you want to start? How did you get into it, and
Yeah, sure.
when did you decide to pursue?
I passed, I completed my engineering in 2016 from JNEC Aurangabad. So I'm an instrumentation engineer. In 2017, I got I got selected for 3-year cinematography course in FTI Pune. So before that, I used to do photography a lot, and this thing lead me to get in FTI. And after selecting here, then I started I really want I really like to work as a cinematographer. But this pandemic, when pandemic happened and there is nothing to do, so and just before that we ended we finished our documentary semester. So in documentary semester we used to go for shoot a practical. In that practical we need to direct, we need to edit it, we need to record the sound and shoot also and submit it to our department. So when I was at home during the pandemic, so I started shooting my mother, and my mother and my maushi, aunt. So, and that story I stopped, stopped working on it. And then in August 2020, when government took a decision to start Indian education online, so that time I decided to make this film on my niece and nephew, because they both are as you see both of them in a film, they are like that. So this is a before that I'm a cinematographer, and after this pandemic now I started working on documentaries.
Right, right. And Akash, you want to talk about your journey?
Yeah, so I used to work for the Indian Express before I switched to filmmaking. I used to write. I had studied journalism from University of Delhi. So it's gonna sound very fancy or very fictitious, but one of these, I used to write book reviews, and one of these days, the guy who used to write film reviews was not there, and they sent me to watch a film. And then they used to pay for the ticket, and I realized, oh, this is nice. I can go to any mall, go to any premiere cinema hall, watch any film I want, write a review. So I started to push them to send me to write reviews, and it was the month of Feb, so you would have all these Academy Award winning or nominated films, so so many good films to watch. And I had no interest in filmmaking. I rarely used to watch anything, and they would I thought, okay, nice. I can go chill. I don't have to be in the office. I don't have to read a book. Reading a book is such an active thing. No, you have to finish it in a week and then write about it. Film is you can watch twice in a day and then come back and write something and move on to another thing, another film. I used to do that, and then someone recommended write an exam for FTI, and I did, and I didn't get through. But I thought, the entrance exam was really interesting. The questions were really engaging, and I thought, okay, this is interesting, and this is better than journalism. I can really use my brain. And then the SRFT exam was 2 months later. So I gave the exam, got in the third list, then quit my job and moved there.
Right, amazing. So, yeah, okay. So basically, I've seen both your films, and I wanted to speak to you both about how both of you made it in the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
It was produced in the pandemic. So Akshay, like you said, you dropped. I mean, you are a practicing cinematographer, and then because there was no work, you decided to just shoot something at home, and then you just picked it up and decided. So when was the time you were like, okay, this is the film I want to make? How did that really happen?
As I told you earlier, so when when the lockdown started, the very first lockdown, so that time I was in Aurangabad. I stuck there because earlier we get a notice before that day we need to vacate our hostels. So I moved on bike to Akola. In between I stay at Aurangabad, and lockdown happened next day. So I had stuck there with my friends. So I started shooting that life, but eventually I didn't edit that. Then I moved to my home. I again started shooting my mother and my aunt. So I also stopped there. And suddenly when the news come about reopening, so before that, before a day, my niece and nephew are they are at my place. And I asked Janvi to like, what do you think about this reopening? And her point, like her view is completely different, and like she is telling whatever she liked it. So I decided let's start shooting, because those were the days, that time I'm doing nothing, like just sitting in a room reading something, watching films. And it's like more than 2 months I'm no, like I just shooting random things. So I decided to shoot them, and there is a very minimum window, because it's a partial lockdown that time, and morning 7 to 10, it's a time where in that time, like there is no lockdown. So that's why most of the scene I shot in whole film, and it's in 7 to 10, like 8 to 10 in that time only. So like I shot this like till November. Then like August to November I shot, like I used to go there, used to shoot them. And in January I decided to apply for a PSBT film challenge, and for that I make this 10-minute cut. And then I use this 10-minute cut for pitching film, because my aim is to make a 20-minute short documentary on this. But now like I'm making a feature length on like on with same character on same topic. So because we after that also we shot in 3 schedules. So now we'll make a feature film with this.
Right. So this was not basically this is not the whole film. Like this
No.
is supposed to be a pitching
Yeah.
film.
So it's supposed to be a pitching film, and it started also like because there is no fund, and we just, like I just got a camera from my friend, and I'm shooting that film, like I'm shooting whatever comes to me. And then when this thing happened, like uh, online schooling, because we also get like FTI also give us a notice to start our course online. But like all batches are against it, and they also then revoke this decision to not start online. And same time, this my niece and nephew are so excited for their online classes. They're completely they're completely know like nothing what it's going to be, but they are very excited. And eventually whenever I'm shooting them, like in when second lockdown happened, so that time when I shot them, so it's completely character shift I got. And same time IDFA happened, so I went Amsterdam, and have lot of consultancies meeting, and I'm in a doc for sale also. So I meet up some producers and distributors, so they are also like, and lot of people ask there ki why this is a 10-minute cut. So then I explained them this is a pitch cut which got selected. Well, I'm going to make a film, like a feature length.
So now, but like it's already out. So you'll make the same like whatever you've shot, you'll make a feature out of that. Is it?
Yeah. So that's why like I shot this in a 3 schedule. So first schedule is August to November. Then again when second lockdown happened, like March or something like that, March, April, May, like this. So then now their school is started, but it's again like one day only boys will come, next day girls will come. And I shot that thing also, just rejoining to FTA. So like in this 3 schedule we shot, and we have a lot of footage. Now the like this 10-minute cut, I and my one of my batchmate Daresh, so we edited. And the now the film is going to, like, it's editor only doing it. So like I'm out of it, like you people do it. So because this is the first film which I edited also. So but then after seeing a lot of footage, then I thought let's give someone who can work on it.
Right. It must be so exciting and a little random, because like a pitching video wins like it's gone to festivals and it's all, getting all this accolade, and you went to IDFA with it. It must be quite something.
So, like, I use only 4 days footage in this.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Right.
like
Wow.
because it's a 4-month footage, and there are lots of things which is usable, but and we only have 4 days to submit this film in PSBT. So whatever post production happen, it's in 4 days. So this is
Oh,
completely like I every time I thought this cut is made totally on intuitions. Whatever come in mind, just put it and complete the
wow,
film.
that's
You
really quite
you
something.
pulled quite a
Yes.
miracle in 4 days then.
Absolutely,
Like,
Yeah,
absolutely.
very excited to see the bigger
The
version now.
yeah.
Totally, totally. And Akash, how was it for you, like to shoot during the pandemic and make a film, which is a fiction film? So it requires like quite a proper production, like lighting and everything wise. How did?
Yeah. So I study producing in the film school, SRFTI, and I wrote the script in 2018. So what I usually do is any film I want to make, I write it down and then I keep it for like 2 to 3 years and see like if I still like it or do I hate it? Is it too amateurish? So I decided in October of 2020 that I wanted to make a film because we had shot our diploma in March, and I was feeling really restless because I hadn't moved anywhere, was just stuck at home, wanted to make a film. And so this film is about my grandfather, and like it comes from personal space. So every character you see in the film, they are like real people who the actors got to meet, except my grandfather who passed away 2 years ago. So I originally wanted to like I wrote this as an observational exercise at home, and I thought I'll make this film with the real people, but then it was too tough to like just shoot myself, shoot my family. And so I decided, okay, let's shoot later. So I thought I'll make it in March of 2020. It was my original plan to make the film right after the diploma film I was shooting. But then like the pandemic happened and everything like got derailed, and like thankfully I got like a lot of actors which I was not aware of during this time. I saw some trailers, saw films, met people, talked to them, and like I was like really shocked and I don't know, quite excited because these people like they said that they liked the script and I did not know how to react to it. I thought, like, this is so amateur. I just wrote it in like one day. Like, that was the entire duration we were given for the screenwriting thing. I wrote something else and then I couldn't come up with anything. So I thought, okay, I'll just steal from my family. Like I'll just write it down, and yeah, we
Right,
shot 4 days in December, and the
right.
actors were like everyone stayed at my home. The place you see in the film, that's like very close to my place, and it was really fun. Like I to find the like the location. Usually like you hire line producers and stuff, but I in Panipat, like who would have made a film? So any place I liked, I would just like ring the bell, like, tell them, "Oh, I want to make a film." Usually, people would say, "No, no, we're not interested." This auntie, like, I told her I want to make a film, and she asked the name of the film. I said the film is called Mintgumri, and she said, "Oh, my father was from Mintgumri." Then I later learned it was her father-in-law whose house like she was living in, and so
Oh,
that's
wow.
how like she had come from America for his funeral. Like he was 99 years old and he had been living in this house alone for last 30 years,
Oh,
and
wow.
so they said, okay, like use the house, do whatever you want, and like they didn't charge me anything. They were just happy with the name because it just
Right.
reminded them of something. So I got the place, and it was
Oh,
quite exciting.
wow. That is really quite something that you found somebody in the same place where your grandfather also, I mean, the father-in-law belonged to the same place as your grandfather.
Yeah.
So that is quite exciting that way. And then must be easier also to, work in your space, right? Rather than working in any city or maybe outside of your hometown.
So this is my first film and I really wanted it to be like it had to mean something. I had seen people in film school, they would make a film and then they would hate it like 10 days later after shooting or like 2 months later. I just wanted like it had to be special. Like so I shot with only the people I truly loved. Like all my friends were there. I didn't call anyone who I thought was like even like just a acquaintance. So
Right.
quite
So
quite an
you
experience it was.
no totally and sounds like it. And you said you started making a documentary very much like what Akshay did, like just shooting at home.
I didn't shoot.
Yeah.
I didn't
You
start
didn't
the
start.
shoot. No,
Oh.
I was just taking pictures. Like, so I had recently got a film camera from a friend. I had come for a break in 2018. I was shooting the pictures and I thought, oh, this is good. I could do something with this. Then it was becoming like really painful because my grandfather's health was deteriorating like with every passing week. So I thought, oh, I can't shoot him. Also, I can't shoot myself and I can't let anyone else shoot me either. So I thought this could be fiction film. And
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it is quite challenging to shoot your own family or yourself. So I mean, Akshay, like, how was that also, like, in the sense that when one struggles to sort of figure out that how, because in your film people are also interacting, right? Like, you are interacting with the the children and the family itself. You are there present. So I mean, the documentary is in a very different space than fiction. Has a certain distance, where you can be, I mean, this person can be a bit of you, but it doesn't need to be the whole thing, right, Akash? Well, I mean, what do you think about that? Ki thoda distance aa jata hai where you're like, okay, this character is somewhat like me, but doesn't, I mean, it gives you a little relief, maybe.
Every
Is it?
actor who's gonna come like to play a role, they're gonna bring like whatever their experiences have been to the set. So like I thought I was making a film about my family, but like in the first 2 hours of shooting, I realized, oh, like this is not my family. Like these are actors and this is a script, and I can't like continue to think that I'm making a film about myself because then it becomes too narcissistic as well.
Right. So basically, it just takes its own form, right? After once it starts, it's like it starts from a point of view of some being very personal, and then
Yeah,
it just takes its own sort of form, like as you go along.
and you can always make like better or like worse characters. Like you can change anything. Like, whatever you feel you lack or your characters lack, like in real life people you're writing about, you can just do anything. So some of the, I would say, benefits of making a
Of
fiction film.
right, right.
And fiction have this thing, no? So if you want to delete it, some of your life part, like if you don't want to show who you are, so this thing, this is the advantage for fiction. And documentary is the kind of thing, if you are doing something in front of camera, just then it's in a filmmaker's hand what he want to show. Like,
Yeah, it must be very difficult for you, right? Like, if it's your sister, right, in the film.
yeah.
It is your
So
sister.
yeah, so she's my cousin sister, and both kids like are my niece and nephew. So like we share a great bond. So as like you said, no. So there is a shot when Vedu comes out from a bathroom and like he's checking, because that one is the first day when Janvi is attending class and his class is on next day. So he is in a bathroom and like because of curiosity he come out and he saw like I am there with the camera, and he quick like go again like in the bathroom. So when I edited this cut and when they saw the film, so Janvi is very happy because there is nothing where she want to worry, and the Vedu is like, "Yare, why you put this shot? Like I am on underpant, like everybody will see me." So and there is a shot when Janvi, like there is a scene when Janvi stuck inside the bathroom, and Vedu's class is going on, and like after his class we rescue her out. So I didn't put like I didn't keep that scene because see, that scene is very long lengthwise. So because of that, Janvi is very happy. But same time, next day she asked me, like she took a promise from me, like I'm not going to put that scene in a film. So these things also happen with me while shooting a family. Like they are also very engaged with the film. So my sister, the brother-in-law. So this film and also this film is like all things are happening when I'm in Akola, and we just moved to Akola in a lockdown only. Before that, I born and brought up in Chandrapur. So there is very like only 2-3 friends I have in Akola, and it's a lockdown, so I never go out from my house also. So I just go out to shoot them, and if something like to buy something, vagara. So in Akola, if my like somebody asks me who is your friend in Akola, so these guys like these Janu Vedu, and like my sister and my brother-in-law. So I spend a lot of time with them whenever I go, and the both kids are like same. Like if not me, if somebody else make film on them, then also this thing is going to come. I don't know about the interaction we have, but the whatever like observation
Right.
happen like is in film, so it's pakka going to go. If
Right. But then, in documentary, it's also like, matlab, they have some say, because I mean, it's
Mm,
your family. So,
yeah.
it becomes very difficult to show what to show and what not to show when it's your family. And fiction also, and sometimes I feel like people can tell that, oh, is like in Akash's film, I felt like the helplessness of the grandfather. I mean, it's a very sensual and a very bare film, and it's all about the touch, of how the grand the son is the grandson's interacting with the grandfather, and it's very, what do you say, very very physical. At least I felt that it was very physical. And so sometimes I don't know, in fiction also people feel like, if you say this is about your grandfather, people will think, oh, what a helpless man. So I was just wondering, since you say it's about your grandfather, is there anything like that happened?
In the film,
No, yeah, I mean, in your personal experience, if it
everything
happened.
that you see Rag doing with the grandfather, I could never really do. Like I always wanted to do. The idea of the film was like in the end, when Rag is at the window, like a lot of people told me that it seems like, oh, like he is sad, he's sappy because he couldn't help. Like my idea when I wanted to make the film was, oh, like I'm always seen as this kid, like I'm 24 years old. Like back when I was writing the script, I'm like, I thought like I'm 24 years old. I want to just help him like one day. But at home, like it doesn't matter if you're 24 or 19, you're always a kid. So and you've come for vacation, so they wouldn't let you, like I won't say the they used to call it like just पता नहीं पंजाबी में sorry just changing the language
Go for it.
मतलब बाबूजी ने लेके जाना है. This would just mean that, oh, this is like dirty work now because you have to like clean his soiled clothes, so you can't touch him right now. Only like chachu or chachi or my father, like only 3 people in the entire family would be like doing this, and so no one can do this. So even if you want to help, you can't help. But once he has taken a shower, you can like touch him, you can help him with wearing his sweater or shirt. uh, so I thought like, okay, I wanted to just make a film about this thing, that how like I just want to help. I don't want to make a film about his helplessness. I just want to make a film about like how they react, how they interact, because uh, my grandfather, he had like lost his memory and he couldn't really remember many people. And I was like, I thought I was very fortunate that he could like uh, remember me. Like he would sometimes ask for my name, like when I'm not in the house. So I thought, uh, I don't know, it had to be about a home. This feeling of, I named the film Mintgumri because I thought I was in a way searching for home. I had never lived in Panipat before the lockdown. I always lived outside. I grew up in hostels. So I never thought I belonged in the city. And I thought like, this is how he must have felt when he left his home, because sometimes he would tell me stories, how they walked. He was 17 years old when they had come to Panipat uh, from Mintgumri.
Right.
So I thought, okay, this could be something between just him and me. But then
Right.
it's not. When you're making a film, there are 20 people on the set, and I don't know, 20 more who'll come in the post production, and it just at some point you will like, I don't know, want to like just cry because you thought it was yours and now it's not, like because the editor will also say it's their film, the sound designer will say it's their film, and you like sharing the film.
Right. And
it,
because it was about your grandfather, you feel like maybe,
Ye-
yeah,
yeah.
not sure if, yeah. Right, right. No, of course. And have your family seen the film? Have what did they have to say about it?
Oh, so in the film you see my chachu and chachi and my
Oh, okay.
jhaiji, like the actors, like it's based on them. Only my father, my mother, and my sister have seen the film.
Oh,
They said I have given too much importance to myself in the film. They said you should have added more scenes with Chachu and Chachi. So I don't know. I'm I'm quite like scared to show them the film. They've asked it a few times, but I don't know. I don't think I have the strength or the courage to show it to them. My father and mother, I had to show them because like they live in the house, and my sister like just made them watch without telling me. Otherwise, I would not have even let them watch the film.
Right. No,
So I'm sorry,
know that
it's just a
feeling.
very weird thing to say. I feel like I could have done so much more with the film, that like my own limitations prohibited me to go deeper. So I feel that um, it's kind of a little bit of disservice to all of
Right.
them.
Right. No, it's a totally understandable feeling. Like a lot of times one doesn't feel like one wants to share the films because you feel like you didn't do a good job, or it's too personal and it's just something you want to just keep to yourself. Maybe something like that, you know. And so matlab, it's an understandable feeling for sure. And Akshay, how was how is it for you to show them the film at the end? I mean, your your sister and your son brother-in-law. How was it for them to see themselves? I think people feel very sometimes feel very strange represented in a certain way because like they people are more rounded than they see themselves in films. So, I mean, what did they say? What was that also like?
So when I start shooting, so that time no one thought ki arey, I'm also not sure ki what is going to like something will come out or not, because before that as I told, I stopped working on two documentaries like just because of I don't want to edit that thing. And when I start this, so whenever I shoot them and then I come to home, I take the footage. So sometimes my mother, my father, or my sister is also there. So they saw this footage and like, and they start laughing. Ki, "Arey, what they are doing?" So it's like this. So these are the things. Eventually come like I go to confidence after so on a second day when I'm like shooting them. So and they are also not. They are also very comfortable with me because I told you that we share a great bond. We spend a lot of time whenever, and they also like, "Yare, come to like if there are some holidays in between, then they are like, Yare, come to Akola, let's will meet and other thing." So when I start shooting, so that time because of the curiosity of online schooling is more than shooting me to them. So everyone is like trying to figure out kya, what is happening with network, what how to fix the mobile, and like other then how to fix the background, just like we just like we do before starting this conversation. So this thing is happening, and I also show them the footage, like see the this thing I shot, and like I also talk with them while shooting, after shooting, and and they are very comfortable with it. After seeing the footage, like after seeing the 10-minute cut, they are so happy ki, "Arey, people are knowing us now." And then news, then the like it's after Irfan, then I got call from some news media, and then Akashvani, वगैरह. So the interviews and the other thing, then PSBT award. So because of that, they are also very happy. Ki, and I also like a film name is also on them. The Mahalle is their surname. So Mahalle school. So they are also happy. So one day, my father have some work in a district office. So he went there, and there is someone like his surname is Mahalle. So when my father told them, ki, like yeah, my son made a film on the, like they are from same village. So village में होता है ना कि there are a lot of people with the same community and same surname. So that guy is so happy, and he's like, "Arey, our surname is known, like everyone is know our surname because of your boy." So it's like
Right.
this thing also happened, and
Right.
everyone is enjoying that feeling at in my home also, at their place also. So these different when the 10-minute cut comes out, and then I started shooting a second schedule. That time there are some difference I also feel, not with both kids, because they are they are like these only. So you do whatever with them, they do whatever they want to do. But there is a difference in my brother-in-law, in my sister. Like if I'm shooting them, so they are aware or something. This is catching. So like this thing I got in the second schedule. But after that, if I want something here, like can you please talk on this topic? So then they are comfortable, okay, like this. So otherwise I ask them some questions, and then suddenly I poke that what I want to like ask to them. So there are a lot of conversation in films also. There are a lot of observe like other, like I like to shoot in documentaries, I like to shoot observation kind of thing. But like here there is no one to ask them something, or no one to record the sound, or and I'm also behind the camera and shooting them. So there is a lot of discussion with like it's like they are talking man behind the camera, and for some discussion, so I want them to talk with
So
each other.
the form developed as basically you
Yeah.
went along.
Yeah. So
Right.
the 10-minute cut, there is like it's completely like there is no like we didn't decide. So there is a guy like Divya. So and my sound designer also like Sudarshan. So Sudarshan is from FTI. We are from same batch. So we guys are like used to talk while I'm shooting. So like today I got this, and they are also suggesting me what to do, like what can you do with the like with some questions, what should you ask to them, etc. So like this also we are in the touch, and we are speaking. Sometime I send them some screenshot, because in Akola there is like a huge network issue, so it's not possible for me to send cuts or send some videos. But when I did this 10-minute cut edit, like edited, when I edited it, and because of the Sudarshan, he is there for from the from the first whenever I'm shooting. So I'm not that much taking care about like sound design, because I already told them that I only have a shotgun mic and one lapel. So what to do with the like can you manage this thing in post? So he's like, okay, we'll do something. So that's why I'm very like confident in sound post production में तो हो जाएगा इतना कुछ.
Right.
So only one dialogue we dubbed, otherwise all thing like it on
Everything.
police.
Right. No, that is quite interesting. So how many people were there in the crew when you guys shot it? Like how many people were there in
So
all?
like while shooting, so I am only there. In post production, like my
The
sound
more.
is, yeah.
Right.
So
But while shooting, it's only you
yeah,
in their house.
yeah.
Right.
So sometime my brother come, and he also used to see like my uncle's so he's there. My sister like she produces this film. So she's also used to come sometime. Like she's in IT company, so whenever she is at home, so she also used to come. She also used to ask them what, like they also used to play. So there are like there are a lot of my family members are there, but like then I decided only with these four characters. Like I will make
Right.
whatever I'm getting.
About them.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's quite interesting. And Akash, in your case, I wanted to mainly ask you about the casting of it, like which is quite well done. In terms of like how you found the old person, the grandfather, and it's Lakshmi Saran, who's also a very popular actor now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd seen him in Meel Patthar, right? Yeah, I think. Yeah, I've only seen him in that film, and he was really good. So, like, how did that entire casting process happen? How did you go about it?
So when I had decided to make the film in March, I had little money. So I wanted to just cast my friends. And then gradually I realized that, like I have some limitations to what I can do because I have never made a film before. So I thought, okay, I'll try to work with people who know more than me, so I can make like my fair share of mistakes, which I also did in the film, like as you can see.
Right.
So so I was just like, I used to watch films which I had watched already, and I would remember, okay, these characters. So I remember the Dadi I had seen in Sony, and she spoke 2 dialogues in the film, and I thought, oh, like she knows Punjabi, she's old, like she could be like the Jhaiji. I called her. I got her number because like you would know any independent film in India, you would find someone from SRFT or FTI working there, and you would have some contacts. That's how I got to know about the Dadi. Then Lakshmi, I'd seen the trailer of Milestone. Not the trailer. There were just 2 clips right before Venice, and I thought, oh, like this guy looks really good. Like he could work for the film, and I just contacted him, got his number, and like he was very happy to come. He was shooting this web series which will be released next week, I think, and he had a gap of 1 month between 2 schedules, and he thought, oh, I can't do much with the looks, like if you are okay, I can come. I said, yeah, please come. He wanted to come home during that break, and his home now is in Chandigarh, so I thought, oh, it's nice, like we could manage. It's
Right, like it's close by.
everything was falling in place where we could
Right.
like make the film in that like 10 days. I thought we wanted to make the film. We wanted to make the film only in winters. I
Right.
realized in summers, like because I live in Kolkata, I spend so much time there. I realize in summers people get really cranky. It gets really uh, like very
Yeah.
sticky. People are just like mad on the set, and I thought winters are nice, very calm, very peaceful. Everybody
Right.
like feels cozy in their sweaters and thermals. Also, winter has this kind of, it adds a kind of nice aesthetic
Right. Like
to
it's
the
very
film.
cinematic to shoot during winters. Yeah.
And I thought, oh, one more thing could be that people will think that there's so much warmth in the film. Why not just shoot it in winter? So it's like the warmth already is there. So
Right. Right. And
I
how many people are we talking about? Like who were there shooting it?
in
Uh,
so we had 5 actors
mm,
and 8 crew members, total 13 people.
right. Right.
Yeah.
Inside. Right. And okay. And there were no issue during because of COVID or anything.
Oh, we everybody got tested,
Okay. Okay.
and
Right. So.
yeah, like it was free back then. Like
Right.
it had just like they were charging 1,300 for one test, and then we realized, oh, like in Panipat it's free, so we tested everyone. Everyone came
Right.
3 days before the shoot,
Right.
and
Okay.
yeah, no one got
Right.
infected, which is like very
Right.
very
No,
good.
because the lead looks quite old. That's like he's not. He doesn't look that as old as. I mean, he doesn't. He looks like he must be at least in his 60s,
Yeah,
70s.
Uday Chandra, he's
Yeah.
69 years old. It was his birthday, like the day he arrived for the shoot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Right. So how did you cast him?
I had already like worked on a previous film with him, like a diploma film. So he was part of that, and I thought like I actually wanted Lalit Bahal to be the actor because like my grandfather was kind of heavy, and I thought
Oh,
I wanted him, but he was like not there, and I asked Uday sir like 2 weeks before the shoot like if he would be like willing to come,
right.
and he said he'd be like happy. He heard the script, and I realized that like the narration thing really worked for me. Like the writing script can be technical thing can be boring, like reading scripts, exterior, interior, like blah blah blah, day night stuff.
Right.
You talk to people and they're like more than happy to, like
Right.
if you have something to say, like they'll be happy to hear.
No, that's true. That's very true. So, I mean, I'll just steer the conversation now away from the film to away from both the films, but to just generic practice of like filmmaking. So, because Akshay, you work as a DOP as well, right? Like in
Yes.
mostly you work as a DOP, and Akash, you produce. So both of you on the side have kind of done this now, right? So I wanted to know, like, and both of you have worked on docu and fiction, right? So like what is that, how would you define your practice, and how what do you think of what you want to achieve in the future, and like what are your plans for the future? So if you can just talk a little bit about that. And yeah, anybody can start, please.
So Akash, you start.
Okay, so I made like fiction film first, and then I made a documentary. Like a year later, I made like my first documentary. So even in like fiction, my idea is to only write about things that I have experienced, because I feel I am quite not capable yet of just like creating my own world. I can only like try to replicate the world or someone's world I have closely observed and seen. So my idea is every time I'm making a film, I like to maintain a kind of a distance, as you would like in Mintgumri. It was little more. It was little different because I was not doing the camera on my own. Otherwise, I tend to like just keep it on a tripod and just like observe and talk to people, not like too much, because I also want to have, it's very delicate, like having the intimacy and also not intruding into the space.
Right.
So uh
You also spoke about, how it's a very film school aesthetic. And I was just wondering that, I mean, both of you are in film school. So how does one find one's own voice? Because if there is an aesthetic, it's already there. I mean, I think that's a question which a lot of people, I'm sure, struggle with, and you guys too. So, matlab, how does one really you know, go about doing that, like finding your own voice in the middle of a very conventional aesthetic, which is already established?
I think like you watch so many films when you're in the course there, that you tend to like a few filmmakers, and uh, subconsciously, even if you're not trying to replicate or copy them, like there are things you like. And for me, it was like I really used to I was like a huge fan of Simon Liang, and so I really used like the pacing and the rhythm in the film, in my film. I think like that comes from there, and Theo Angelopoulos, and in India, like I really love Ivan Ayer's work and Gurvinder Singh's work. So I think like I I feel like you need to like give time for everything to like just happen, and you can't. So that's why I don't like heavy fast cuts. It has to be like very slow, where people can actually like feel real time happening in front of their eyes, as you would have seen. Like I'll go back to like my film too, like right now,
Yeah,
just
no,
to
of
give a
course.
reference. Like
Okay.
the scene where Rag has to dress up Bauji. Uh, in the script, it was just with 2 lines. My script was 12 pages, and it occupies 7 minutes in the duration of the film. The 2 lines. So this
Mm.
idea that people should have to experience as if they're there, you're essentially seeing someone getting combed for 2 minutes. You have no reason to see that. Like it's boring
Yeah,
in a way. Like no one would want to see that in real life.
right.
So my idea was okay.
To make people experience time as it sort of unfolds, to like really see
Yeah,
something that you don't necessarily see when it's happening, like in day-to-day life.
like the idea, even like the concepts and the themes in the film, like things you would this happen. No one really
Pays attention.
pays much attention. So these tiny moments which are like folded somewhere
Right,
like in our lives.
right. Akshay, what do you feel about, I mean, this type of filmmaking, especially because you shoot them, right?
Yeah.
And and they're different aesthetic that every director also has, right? Like different films will have different aesthetics. So how do you perceive?
So like the earlier question, can I start from that or
Yeah,
should
yeah,
I?
please
Uh,
go ahead. Yeah.
so, so like as you told, as you asked, so as a cinematographer, I really like to work like if I'm working on fiction, so it's completely pre-planned. What shot we are designing, how we are lighting. Like I'm from an engineering background, so this calculation I really like to do on set also, like in our pre also. So and in FTI, it's like we get a lot of time to practice before our project. So this kind of thing. What should I make or what should be the treatment? So this come like I thought I think it's like when I'm practicing something and I'm trying and I'm like it's a trial error kind of thing. And if something works there for me, like it's coming from like that it's coming from that practice. So like when we are shooting a practicals and or when I'm shooting outside and like something hit there. Okay, this is a thing which can be used in the future. And the same thing uh, like Akash said, we have our own theater where we can watch lots of films. Like whenever you want to watch, you can watch, and there is a general screening. So these are the things. As he also told you, like there are some filmmaker, and subconsciously the work comes from there. So we like in fiction, I really follow. There are cinematographers, filmmakers, but for documentary, when I was in a documentary semester, we have workshop of Ramni sir, and that time I saw like a lot of documentaries which made on family with a single or two couple of like people. So these are the film where after like watching that film I also thought ki, and before making this documentary, so there are some films which are my reference. It's like Ramni sir's film or Abhijit Mukund Kishore sir's film, and then we also have a reference of homework uh, and uh, and Oju's Good Morning. So and Archana's About Love. So these are the films like I have in mind by treatment wise and this. So when I was in IRFA, so first film I saw in Tushinsky is Homework. So that film is my reference for this one, and I got a chance to watch it on the full like on the theater.
Yeah, these days it's such a rare and an important thing that you saw it in a theater, on a big
So,
screen.
and also like I really want to do one documentary the way Anand Patwardhan sir do. And in IRFA, he was also there for my screening, and I'm sitting beside him, and that was a moment for me.
You're like
Um,
full circle ho gaya. Matlab
yeah.
everything that had to happen has
And
happened.
I'm so called like and after that there is my Q&A, and I'm so nervous ki what what will I say about the online education happening in India in front of him. So
Right.
they have some work, so in between conversation they included it.
Right. Nice, nice. So, like, what do you feel about like something which is very slow moving aesthetic? Like, how do you perceive it? Because a lot of films get made in film schools which have that aesthetic. So, I mean, as a cinematographer, what do you think about it? Or like Akash's film is,
Yeah.
right? Much
So
more slow and much more atmospheric in that way.
so I like this kind of treatment if the story demand like a slow pacing and slow movement, because my dialogue film is like this. So there are like, 23 shots we shot, and all shot are edited using. So so dialogue film like the film you need to shoot inside the studio, and the film is also very have a very slow space because there is a mundane routine of this character. So I also like the slow treatment, like static camera. Like you get a chance like you have a chance to control every element in the frame if it's not a document. But still the feel and like you can evoke some kind of feeling from this slow pacing film because I think like you get a good amount of time to watch a single composed frame. So what's happened there, and suddenly something happened, and that thing it will get in like it's story wise, and
Right.
same time in documentaries also. Uh, Also, I also shot lot of like there are short. It's more than 10-15 minutes. Like something happening there, the conversion is also there. Uh, but to for this 10-minute cut, I really choose to take only few shots like this. Like the Vedu having his online exam, and the network is gone. So that is the longest shot, like the longest static shot in my film. And we are making a long cut, so there are a lot of shots which is static, which is like
Right.
and everything is happening inside the frame. So I think this kind of treatment is completely depend uh,
Right.
on what you are getting in documentary.
Right. So basically, you're saying, from what I understand, you're saying is that it depends on if the story kind of
Yeah,
demands it. Everything doesn't need to be that way, but it's if the story demands it, it makes sense to go about it in
yeah.
a very slow sort of pace, right?
Correct. So because like in Toto there is a guy with Shubham Ghatge. So he's my batchmate. He's from sound. and we worked together on, like, we directed 2 films. In both films I am there. So in Daura also I was there, like, but the film is like that. So he used like cutting, like that kind of treatment instead of going very slow. So it's not like that ki every film is going student will shot in a slow pace thing. But
Right.
it's nice treatment if somebody want to shoot like this, or somebody want to show like this. That's really
Right. Okay, great. So now we'll just take questions. So one question is, Akshay, do you think that because you were behind the camera, someone familiar and close to the family being filmed made a difference to what was captured on the film? Surely the children would have behaved differently if it was a stranger behind the camera. Basically, because they knew you and
yeah.
all that. Did that make a difference?
Yeah, I think it can make, if like, but I thought it's depend on who is shooting. So, or how is it shooting. So there is my documentary called Our Mountain Valley. So this documentary have a not similar kind of, but this documentary completely in a cinema verite kind of thing. Like we are observing and we are shoot like very there is no interview in that documentary. And so in FTI, like we get only 10 days to shoot a documentary. So when I went there, so on day 0, I only have 1 day to get comfortable with all character. And like if you see this documentary, like many people also told, like ask me how you shoot, like staying so close to them, and they are also not looking inside the camera.
Right.
So these kind of tactics we like. So in that documentary, my sound, so same guy, the who did my sound for this documentary. So he's there. So he have a long hair and beard and a boom mic in hand with a cat fur. So every like in that documentary also, so most of that family is living inside a cave. So they are curious about this guy with a boom rod in hand and a recorder fixed on his so these things we get advantage. So we used to like through eye contacts, we used, like I used to tell them ki go through that side, so I'm getting
Right.
this look. And whenever something happens, so they are looking to this guy only. And he is the one who asks something to them. So it's very few moments are there that time they watch inside the camera, but our editor didn't use that because we get a treatment where there is a no interview and there is a no one is which like who is seeing inside the camera. And so like
Right.
it's feeling like it's something fictional is happening there. But this family living inside a cave from past 4 generation, and they are like first time they saw some camera, like a video camera,
Right.
but still, and there is no light inside their caves, and I make some panels and I put there. So these kind of things also happen, and they
Right.
are very comfortable with me because, and still they have only one phone and there is no network. So the guy sometimes he used to go to the hills, and there he got a network, and he used to call like quickly, how are you, what's going on, or sometimes
Right.
like this kind of bond like we made there in that family.
Right.
So I
So
think
so
it's,
it
yeah,
it
it's depend on
depends.
like how you are
Right.
shooting it.
Right. No, because your relationship with Vedu and Janvi, like one can
Yeah,
really see that, that they're very obviously close to you. And that changes how they also behave, you know.
yeah.
I mean, how easily comfortable they get and how, I mean, they'll get comfortable very quickly compared to a stranger shooting them,
Yeah.
I'd guess, right?
Yeah, but
Mm.
I told you, the both guys are
Right.
like this. If you're shooting
Right.
them and you
They
feel
will
are
be like this.
comfortable with them,
Right.
they are definitely comfortable with you.
Right. Okay. Great. So another question, which is for Akshay, which is congratulations on the success of your film and best wishes for the longer version. What other broad aspects you plan to touch in the longer version, which we'll see out? Will we see anything outside the house in your longer version?
So no, like still we are like keeping ourselves inside the home only. So there are this character shift I told you, what I
Mm.
observed in second like in the second lockdown, like how these kids are behaving, how they got bored about their online classes. So
Right.
there is a thing like we want to go to school. So this rebellion is there in their character, they are like family dynamics also change because they are building their own house somewhere in Akola only. So these things are like these financial struggle is also going on, and there are a lot of other things like the news of reopening come, and then again the new variant comes. So how the kids are how the kids are responding to this thing, same time how families like keeping them motivated to do the class, and how these kids are reacting, and complete their family port like longer version is now a family portrait, like Indian
Right.
family in a lockdown, and these things are happening.
Like through the year,
Yeah,
basically it'll be 2020 and 2021.
yeah,
I'm guessing, right? Okay, right. So that'll be quite interesting to see because, like,
yeah,
you start into it and then you get bored of online and there's nothing special and you get frustrated. So it'll be quite interesting to see the whole film and the whole journey through the pandemic. So,
yeah.
yeah, amazing. So, Akash, this one's for you. Your film consciously leaves most of the matter unsaid and also is restrained in its approach to pace and rhythm. How did you arrive at this aesthetic? Is this something to do with the filmmakers you are influenced by? Was it a conscious choice to use aesthetic even before you wrote the screenplay? So you've kind of answered this. So, but like, if you have something else to say, you can for sure add.
Yeah, I think I just have to say something about the last bit. The
Yeah.
screenplay. Yeah, when I was writing, whenever I'm writing, it's very weird. So I know I'm going to direct. So I also know how the shot has to look like and how much time I can give to it. So like I plan everything like during the writing stage only before I even. So I think a lot of people write a screenplay first. I tend to write a treatment first, like a 10 pager or a 12 pager treatment. And uh, usually in that, I write in my notes how what I'm going to see essentially, what the magnet. Now, though, I feel like because I observe more, so after spending like 3-4 years in a film school, I can like also write. Sorry, don't kill me for this, cinematographer. I also write like the magnification and the lensing sometimes, like how I need to see things because I usually go to spaces with my camera and I like put people there and I see okay before I even like write the script. So
Right.
everything happens like simultaneously.
Right. So
And
it's a more visual, basically way of writing, which is much like basically visual driven,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
right approach, right? And yeah, Akash, the experience of time is also made possible by the fact that the camera's perspective does not shift during the scene. Like this is, please do.
Not a question, but
Yeah, comment. Like,
yeah, yeah.
what do you have to say to that if there's anything?
I usually like to write scenes which are like just a shot in themselves. I don't like to break between scenes usually. Like it just has to happen in one go, either from like one place or another place. Like you just stay with the people you're watching and you don't like uh, I feel it also also because I feel you need to give the space to the actors who are performing, and telling them to do an action repeatedly just exhausts them. So they also need to, after like few rehearsals, you just need to let them be and just stay away.
Right.
So I tend to do that. So I don't know if this is like
No,
what to
it
say to this.
definitely it
Yeah.
definitely shows in the film the practice of what like one does during shoot. It somewhere translates in the film. So I do feel like, I mean, it in a lot of scenes it's very, you especially when he's wearing the sandals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very intimate scene. So I mean, I'm sure it feels like it could be taken more times because it has some nervousness, a little bit in
It
the
was
scene.
taken just one time without rehearsal.
Oh
You
wow,
know,
really?
my achievement in that scene is the carpet which we stole from the guest house.
Right. Right. It's a very beautiful, like that shot I quite liked, and it felt like there's some nervousness in his body, and which one can feel that when he's slipping his feet into the slipper. So that was quite.
So there are certain things which like the actor Lakshmir had never done before. So we thought, okay, we won't rehearse because in the film Rag is also doing it for the first time. Like when he's making him wear a kurta. So that took him around 4 minutes to do on his own, like
Right.
without us intervening. We obviously couldn't use the entire 4 minute thing in it, And similar with the shoe thing, the sandal thing. Cream, I think like it's like rather simple, and combing is rather simple. Holding him was also something like he had not done before, like just lifting some person on your feet.
Right. And the newness obviously looks like that. The newness of the, the event happening, because it looks like he's trying. Otherwise, do teen baar karke, that newness is kind of lost, right? Like while filming.
Some of the scenes like you see in the film, they just happen like it's very weird. Like either the scenes took 20 takes or they took one take. There's no in between.
Right. So that is quite fascinating. So I think that is about it. So I guess I'll pass on the mic to Leah. And thank you so much for having this conversation with me. It was great, and I wish we had more time to do this. But yeah, here we are.
Thank you so much. It's been fun.
Yeah, same here.
It was really nice.
Thank you so much, Priya. On behalf of everyone at TFA, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today and making this event a success. We're truly grateful to Priya, Akshay, and Aakash for taking time out to be here today. Today's the last day of screening, so please do watch the films if you haven't already. You can click on the link available on the Zoom chat box to access these films. The awards will be announced on 19th February at 6 p.m. on our YouTube channel, so stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.